Chapter 1 of Peggy's Trial. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Lee Ann Howlett. Peggy's Trial by Mary Knight Potter. Chapter 1. A Disappointment. Peggy Clayton stood on the front steps with her 10-year-old forehead puckered into half-century wrinkles. She had followed her father out of the house, watched him toss his medicine case up to Jim in the buggy, climb in himself, wave a last good-bye, and drive up the street at a speed which soon whisked them around the corner out of sight. As this was what happened every morning, there was apparently no reason for the lines on the forehead, or the deep sigh with which she turned slowly into the house. She had hardly shut the door before a voice shouted, "Did you ask him? What did he say?" Along with the words, a small boy came sliding down the banisters and landed in triumph on his feet beside her. "Ted," said his sister severely, "you are a bad boy. You know Nurse said you were not to slide down those banisters with your new suit on." "Bother Nurse," answered Teddy, nevertheless surveying two short trouser legs with some apprehension. "Did Father say you could?" he added impatiently. Peggy drew him into the office and closed the door. "I never got a chance to ask him," she said disconsolately. "He was giving Nurse directions about Harry's foot and then Mr. Carter came in." "Mr. Carter!" exclaimed Teddy in surprise. "Why, he went more'n half an hour ago. Why didn't you ask then?" Peggy opened the door, looked up and down the hall, and shut it carefully again before she answered. "Nurse was there right after and told about our going down to the river yesterday, and she said she was sure Harry got his foot hurt climbing over the stone wall, and he left word that we were never to go there again without asking permission first." "Bother!" said Teddy with all the emphasis that word could carry. "Well, why didn't you ask him after that?" Peggy looked at him scornfully. "With Nurse just complaining about us? He'd have said no, sure." "Nurse is always complaining," said Teddy, wagging his head judicially. "If you wait to ask till she isn't saying disagreeable things, you'll never get the party." "And besides," added Peggy forlornly, "if I don't have it Thursday, Cora May will be gone." Cora May was a visitor in town. Teddy had decided more than 2 weeks before, which was almost immediately after her arrival, that she was much the prettiest and nicest girl he knew, except of course Peggy. No one so far had ever been superior to Peggy. The party without Cora May, therefore, struck him as being ridiculous and not to be considered for a minute. "If Nurse hadn't been so hateful," he scolded, "we could have had the party all right without asking him at all." "Well," replied Peggy, "we can't ask him now, for he won't be home till late this evening, and Cook says if she doesn't know today she won't have time to make the cake." Just then Nurse's voice was heard reminding them that if they didn't hurry they would be late for school. "It's always school time," grumbled Ted. "Wish I'd hurt my foot instead of Harry. He always does have the luck." "I don't call it much luck to have to sit in a chair all day with your foot on another," said Peggy. "It's foolish to make a fuss about going to school," she added virtuously. "'Tisn't a bit more foolish," flared Teddy, "than to make a fuss about an old party. I don't care if you don't have one at all." His nose was as high in the air as that already turned up article would go. Peggy's feelings were much hurt. "You are pretty mean," she sputtered. "I'll tell Cora May you don't want her to come. Then I guess she'll think you are polite." She pursed up her lips tightly as she put on her things and started off at a rapid pace down the street. Teddy followed, tugging at the jacket Peggy usually helped him into.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?